I, 23 female, introduced my brother-in-law, 39 male, to the woman he cheated on my sister with, 21 female, 38 female. I, 23 female, feel like such a jerk. My sister, Gwen, 38 female, has been married to Jacob, 39 male, for 10 years. I've had a best friend, Ellie, 21 female, since middle school. She's always been around, but in 2020 I started inviting her around more because her mom died of COVID, so she didn't have any family around. So I invited her to holiday parties, family get-togethers, etc. So she'd feel part of a family. Last night we found out from texts my sister found on Jacob's phone that he's been sleeping with Ellie and she might be pregnant. My sister is devastated and took their kids to come live with our parents. I feel so guilty. I'm the one who brought her around and invited her to stuff. I feel like it's all my fault. My sister's life is ruined, her kids are really upset. I don't know what else I can do other than say sorry. This isn't even remotely your fault. You didn't invite her onto your brother-in-law's penis. They are two adults. Your brother-in-law is the boss here. Does your sister blame you? People meet other people randomly all the time. This isn't your fault. If he hadn't ever met her, then he would have found someone else to cheat with eventually. Oh honey, this is not your fault. You tried to do a good thing for someone who turned out to be a crappy person. No one is to blame her aside from Jacob and Ellie. Your brother-in-law is a predator. Ellie was stupid and scummy for agreeing to have the affair, but your brother-in-law is the worst person in this equation. Not your fault. My wife 25F made fun of my 27M biggest insecurities. A few weeks ago myself 27M and my wife 25F were talking about potentially trying for a baby since she finally finished her studies. We've been married for 2 years, but altogether we've been a couple for 6 years. I am as a male am not circumcised and have a real insecurity about it due to my past partners making fun of me. I've been turned down for sex because of my uncircumcised penis. My wife knows about my insecurities but claimed she had no problem with it when we got sexually active. When I mentioned boy names, I mentioned that if we were to have a son, that I would want him to be circumcised. She said it was fine. I then mentioned that when we round up enough money I myself have interest in getting circumcised. She asked if I was serious and she laughed. I asked her what was so funny. She said it's about time, that she was kinda grossed out by it. She then added that it looked like a nasty wrinkled snake. I laughed and played it off and went to the bathroom to cry because I never knew she felt that way about it. Last night she initiated sex but I couldn't get it up and told her I wasn't in the mood, but I was embarrassed of how my penis looks now that I know how she truly feels about it. She's never mentioned a single time that she didn't like it. She's never made fun of it or anything. I'm just super hurt and am having a hard time wanting to have sex with her. I don't want to call her out on it because it is her opinion. What should I do? What should you do? Communicate with her what you just said to strangers. What she said to you was so mean and you have every right to feel the way you feel. Let her know how you feel. Abso-fucking-lutely call her da fuck out. Imagine as a guy if you told her her ass looked weird and she had a weird titty. I would literally say I don't think I can get hard around you now nor do I want to. And then ask her why in a million year would she thought what she said was okay? My husband is uncircumcised and the best dick of my life. I hadn't seen one like it before I met him, but he has so much more sensation. Skin that's not all stretched to the max and you can actually get some good range of motion going down there. Please talk to your wife. Look up some of the positives of being uncircumcised, and don't project your insecurity on a future child. 44M, 31F, 42F. My wife wants me to cut contact with the mother of my older children. My ex and I have always maintained good communication for the sake of our 3 kids, 19, 16, 15. She lives a far distance away, so the kids are with me during the school year and with her for many holidays. Despite her distance, she wanted to still be a part of the important decisions for them, and I have always tried to accommodate that. Currently we are coordinating the purchase of a vehicle for our youngest on his upcoming 16th birthday. Today my wife said that after my youngest with my ex turns 16, she doesn't want me to talk to my ex anymore unless it's a dire emergency. I asked why, and she said it's time to begin removing her from our lives. My wife said she is afraid that if I keep contact with her for much longer it will have an adverse effect on our own kids, 8, 6, 1. Although I wasn't able to quite understand how. She said the kids are now old enough to keep in touch with their mom themselves, and if I continue to talk to her it's for myself instead of them. I asked what it is specifically about my conversations with my ex she found objectionable, and I gave her my phone to look through my texts. She pointed out several texts where, among discussing logistics for the kids, there are occasional more casual comments like one of us making a joke about our job or mentioning what became of an old friend. These comments are usually tangentially related to what we are discussing about the kids, and we always quickly get back on track. My wife says the conversations are like something between two friends, and my ex and I shouldn't be friends. She says she needs boundaries. I asked if we could table the discussion so I could think. I have several concerns. I don't want to upset my kids. I don't want to ruin my good co-parenting relationship. However, I also don't want to upset my wife. I want her to feel comfortable and secure. What should I do? Whether your wife likes it or not, your ex will always be part of your life. Her not feeling secure is something she needs to work on. Asking you to cut contact to your ex and the mother of your older children is unreasonable. That's a ridiculous request. If you and your current wife break up, will she really be okay with someone else determining how you communicate about your children? Children are forever, there's still school, breakups, weddings, grandbabies, other life events and minutiae that you'll need to discuss. Feels like this is just step one in the process of her cutting the entire stepfamily out of the picture altogether. My husband, 45 male, and I, 42 female, have been discussing divorce. But I am questioning if I am the problem. I have been with my husband for 11.5 years. Only married for a year and a half. Our relationship has always been difficult and had problems. I am the one wanting to leave. After 11 years he finally agreed to go to counseling, and that has been very difficult. He says it is because I can't see the way I have treated him so badly and refuse to admit that I am wrong. We constantly go over the things we have done over the past 11 years and I am tired of it. He says we need to talk about them until they are resolved, but I don't know how that is supposed to happen. If something happened 10 years ago and I have apologized, what else is needed? I told him that I can't keep rehashing the past. That it feels like it's just an hour or more of him telling me what a shitty person I am. I am a majorly depressed person already, and that just makes it worse. I told him a week ago that if we can compromise I am willing to work things out. But we have to stop going over every incident. We need to talk about the big issues. He feels like I talk down to him and not all of the things that have made him feel that way. And we have to be willing to wipe the slate clean and give each other a fresh chance. It was a nice week. Today we went on a date. On the drive home he wanted to talk about us. He started talking about all of the incidents and said our relationship is a dictatorship and he won't deal with that anymore. He was talking for 20 minutes with me saying nothing. Then he asked what I had to say. I told him that it seems like there is no letting go, and I thought that was what we agreed on. He said no, that's what I said. And he says I yelled. I may have raised my voice a little, but I did not yell. And I said I don't know what you want. So he got mad, said he is tired of me yelling at him. Pulled over and got out of the car. We were 10 miles from home and he started walking. I tried to talk to him, to get him to get in the car. He screamed at me on the side of the road. But he has health issues and I can't just drive off and let him walk 10 miles. I wound up having my stepson come pick him up since he would not get in the car with me, and we haven't spoken since. My problem at this point is to figure out if I need to commit to what I said a week ago, that I would try to work things out. Or do I just call it quits at this point? You say you've been together for 11.5 years and it's been bad for 11 of those years. Why are y'all together? Why did you get married? Often, not always, when someone holds on to past things like this, it's because those types of situations keep presenting themselves and nothing has been learned along the way. An apology doesn't solve this. Could this be the case? That didn't happen. And if it did, it wasn't that bad. And if it was, that's not a big deal. And if it is, that's not my fault. And if it was, I didn't mean it. And if I did, you deserved it. Sounds like you're trying to rug sweep everything and force him to move on so that you don't have to take any responsibility. I'm inclined to believe he's not as wrong as you say he is.